Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. We're going to finish up this chapter and then go through some storyline exposition. First thing first is we're going to weaken this pirate, but Gotri has some different ideas. He wants to critical the pirate and kill him for himself, which I don't blame him. I mean, it's always nice to show your skill on the battlefield. Nothing wrong with that. And also, Gotri got a level up as well, so that's pretty good. And Ike's gotten quite a bit of experience regardless, so he's not going to go away empty-handed by all means. And we also have the pirate boss right here. I'm not going to show him fighting Gotri because we've pretty much seen all the stuff Gotri can do. And also because there's a bit of storyline exposition in this video, and I want to make sure I get through all of it in the allotted time. Now, I know in another video I said that if there was a big video with nothing but storyline, I would have 2 videos posted for the day. However, this is going to be the only video for today. Just because I didn't really plan for this to happen. But I'll be more careful in future episodes, and if it does come to something where I might need to upload 2 videos in one day, I'll go ahead and do that, but I'm going to make this one video an exception. So, we beat the pirates, we saved the village and the villagers, and we're going to get a little debt of gratitude from this grandfather. He's going to say that we did a really great job. He was expecting Commander Grail to be here to beat up the pirates himself, but we actually came instead. He's a little disappointed, but he's still impressed at how well we did, so that's always a good thing. Now, we're actually going to learn a few things about the Grail mercenaries in this little dialogue segment. The Grail mercenaries are located in the Kingdom of Crimea. Crimea is indeed a monarchy, which means that it is ruled by a king, and that king rules the whole land of Crimea. And since Grail and several of his soldiers, like Titania, have been very, very strong and very, very heroic in the land of Crimea, a lot of people wonder why they do mercenary work, when they could be serving the royal family in the royal army. However, Titania is going to explain that she gets satisfaction from the work she does, and so does Commander Grail, and that's why they don't really decide to aim higher for the royal army. Now, Shinon and Gaytree actually have a bit of a different opinion here. Shinon believes that since he is a very skillful sniper, and just a very skillful fighter in general, he thinks that he should actually be able to aim higher. And Gaytree kind of feels that way as well, but not as much. But Titania is going to stress that she really enjoys doing the work that she does because she's helping people. She's helping commoners. The royal family can't always do that. The royal family or army usually has other things to worry about, such as watching out for invasions from other countries, disruptions in their own government and their own army, and sorry Mario, our princess is in another castle. Just stuff like that. So they don't really have the time to worry about all this other stuff. And that's basically what the Grail mercenaries do. They deal with that other stuff to help the people who don't always get the help that they want, or from the people they want it from. So yeah, that's what the Grail mercenaries do, essentially. Okay, we're actually going to do Chapter 4 now. We're going to do the introduction to this chapter. And this introduction alone is going to take the next 6 minutes or so. But this is where the story starts to unfold. This is how the main conflict gets started. This is how everything starts to unravel. And it starts with this one mage guy named Soren. He has news to report to the Grail mercenaries because Soren is essentially an advisor to the mercenary group. He has one hell of a brain on him, I'll say that much. So we are going to learn a few things about this sudden appearance of Soren, because he actually wasn't supposed to come back now. He was actually going to be studying in the main capital for a while, but it seems that things have gone astray, so to speak. Soren also happens to be the first offensive magic user you get in the game. Rise doesn't really count since he can only use healing staffs at this time, but whatever. But we have some news to learn from Soren, and it happens to be on a very large scale. Uh-oh, Crimea and Dayan have gone to war. Not war, anything but war. Never war! So here's a map of Tellius, or at least part of Tellius. Tellius is the continent of which Crimea is located on. Dayan, who has attacked Crimea, is located to the northeast, I believe? Yeah, northeast. And, yeah, kind of a bad thing they attacked us. They attacked us really early in the morning, so it was kind of a surprise assault. No one was expecting it. And the entire military might of Dayan attacked. So Crimea is kind of in a bad situation right now. Because Dayan is a very, very strong military force to be reckoned with. And relations between Crimea and Dayan have never really been great. But they've had some minor skirmishes, but an attack like this was completely unexpected. So Dayan is obviously looking towards a giant military rule, which could be a very, very bad thing. This is the king of Dayan, King Ashnard. The might of King Ashnard is nothing to scoff at. So the king of Crimea, King Ramon, sent out his brother, Duke Renin, to take care of the Dayan army. Thankfully, Duke Renin is a military hero, and he is a very, very valiant soldier. So, maybe Crimea turned out okay. Maybe Crimea will actually win the war. We'll just have to find out. However, since we are a mercenary group located in Crimea, we kind of have to take a side on this war. Well, we can either take the side of Crimea, our beloved homeland, who we will always remain loyal to, or we could side with Dayan, or just not get involved in the war at all. Because Dayan happens to have the upper hand in this case. The army of Dayan is mighty and strong and numerous. It'll be a hard thing, and we have to realize we're just a mercenary group. This may not even concern us. We may have no real reason to be part of the war. So those are the two differing viewpoints as I just discussed. However, as we know, this isn't really going to be our decision. It's going to be Grail's decision. Grail is the big man. He's the leader of this group. He'll make the decision. However, Grail wants to be a little more cautious here. So before he actually takes a side, he thinks we should actually scout the area and look for other clues of how the war is actually progressing. And he's actually going to put Ike in charge. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why put Ike in charge of this army? He's only been in the mercenary group for what? 20 days? Maybe 15 days even? Yeah, he hasn't been around for very long, but this is a direct order from Grail, so we better follow it. And Ike seems more than ready to lead the group, so let's get started. Titania is going to be there as our advisor. We have Shinon and some other troops as well, so this mission should be able to go along smoothly. And Mist has a little gift for us. It's called a Regal Sword. It's a type of sword that actually has an extra advantage against certain enemies. If I remember correctly, the Regal Sword has an advantage against cavalry units and armored units, so that's actually a very good sword to have. So here we are at Capital Way. This is the road to Malor, the capital of Crimea, and we're doing a little bit of scouting. Now, the game kind of glitched up right here when I was going through this, so you're going to see the text go by really quickly for some reason. I have no idea why or how this happened, but I couldn't really prevent it, and I didn't know how to prevent it, and it just happened, so I'm sorry if you wanted to read this text, but the recording just kind of screwed up, or the game kind of screwed up. There might be something wrong with the disc, because I've been playing this game for, what, like 3 years now? I think it's been out for 3 years. So, we found a lot of dead bodies around the road, but they seem to be Dayan soldiers. That's a good thing, right? Well, considering we're on the capital road, Crimea must be using some of their best soldiers around here, so it may not be a good thing after all, especially considering that the Dayan army has come this far already, so that might not be a good thing. But we seem to have been discovered. It's the Dayan army. Oh no. We've been spotted. That's not good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're actually going to fight the Dan army. We didn't really want to do this, but it's happening. Dang, look at all those soldiers, and it's such a small map, too. We could be in for a very rough time. But, unfortunately, I hate doing this, but we're going to have to wait a few days before this battle actually starts. So, I'll see you on Friday for the start of Chapter 4. See you later, guys.